Let's have a look at finding connection information with the IP tool. Remember that on Red Hat Enterprise Linux, this tool is called IPRoute. Here in my terminal, I'll use IP followed with ADDR, short for address. With that, we get a list of our network devices and their particular information. The first one listed here, LO, is a loopback interface. We're not going to be working with that one. The second one on my screen, which, depending on your setup, may be a little different, is my Ethernet device. Link Ether is the Ethernet MAC address of the device. INET here refers to the IPv4 information, and INET6 shows the IPv6 information. We see the IP address and net mask, and the broadcast address here. If you see dynamic off to the side, that tells you that this connection is set up with DHCP, rather than with predefined static information. And there's an indication of how much time is left on the lease. If you're looking for only IPv4 or IPv6 address information, you can add -4 or -6 to the command, like this. I'll write IP-4 ADDR. It'll exclude any adapters that don't have an IPv4 or IPv6 address, respectively. The IP command is also handy for working with the device's status. You can use the link argument to control whether a device is up or down, that is, whether it's considered active for use or not. This can be helpful for isolating one interface for troubleshooting, for example, and of course should be used with caution on a remote system where you might cut off your own access. Let's take a quick look at that. I'll clear the screen, and I'll run IP ADDR again. Before we change anything, take a look here at the Ethernet information again, specifically up here at up, lower up, and state up. Up by itself is a reflection of whether the adapter is marked as available to handle data. An adapter can be up but still be unplugged, for example. Lower up refers to whether the network device considers itself available to handle traffic. This is usually determined by whether the device can detect that it's connected to a network and can detect a device on the other end. Lower up corresponds with state up or state down over here. So if I were to disconnect my interface, effectively unplugging the cable here, we can see that the status changes. I don't have lower up here anymore, even though it's still up as far as the system is concerned. And I can see state down over here, further showing that the interface can't communicate on the network. I also have an indication that there's no carrier, because there's no way for my interface to communicate. I'll reattach my network interface, and I'll use the IP-link command to set the state of this interface to down. IP-link is how we'll communicate with the interface, and with the set keyword, I'll give it the interface name and then a command. In this case, I'll write sudo IP-link set enp0s3 down. And then if I run IP ADDR again, I have a different result. The state is down, and I don't have up, lower up, or no carrier because the device is effectively offline. I'll bring it back up with sudo IP-link set enp0s3 up. You can also explore your Ethernet interface with the ethtool command, like this, with the interface name, and it'll show you some adapter information. I'll write ethtool enp0s3. For example, I can see the supported link modes and the active speed and duplex of my Ethernet connection. There's a whole lot that ethtool can do, but it's more extensive than what this course covers. I encourage you to explore it further on your own, though. Be sure to check out the man page.